What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. I know Shadowkeep is out. I got content for that coming out, but we do have a title update coming out soon for the Division 2, as well as a new episode dropping midway through October, which is coming up very fast. And with the upcoming title update 6 comes a change to the ongoing directive gear set. And in this video, I'm kind of going to go over a potential build that might be very viable for you former Predator mains back in Division 1 who have been itching to use a bleed build once again. This isn't an optimized build, it is not complete, it is just a blueprint for what you could potentially do, so the stats are not going to be important at all right now. All that matters, all that matters is the talents. The mods on the ongoing directive are going to be subject to change due to a change that I'm going to discuss. So with all that being said, let's go into the build. First off, you're going to need an AR with Sadist on it. Now Sadist is getting a buff. It's going from 20% weapon damage to bleed enemies to 30%. Do not use a G36, it is not strong. I personally am going to get an MK16, whether it's a replica or a regular, with probably around the roll I have right here. This is my god roll. This is my perfect roll. I absolutely love this thing. The only AR I'll actually use, I do not like P416s. I mean, it doesn't really matter because they are getting a nerf. I know that. And I know RPM is huge in the Division, but the RPM in this is not a problem. This thing hits like a truck. So getting an MK16 with Sadist, Allegro, and whatever holster I feel would be essential to this build is going to be huge. And it needs to be a high roll as well, because when I get my AR build, this goes up to about 24k damage, which is more than any P416 I have. So MK16 with Sadist, you know, gives you that increased damage to bleeding enemies, which is really what all the new ongoing directive is going to be about. For your secondary, you can really run whatever you like. If you want to run another gun with Sadist on it, that works too. If you want to run a Nemesis, Merciless, Chatterbox, Diamondback is a good one. Eagle Bear obviously is always a choice, though it's getting a nerf. An LMG, a shotgun, really anything can work in your secondary. But if you're going to run another secondary, I'd run close and personal, Ranger, or I'd run Sadist to build onto this build again. Again, your sidearm doesn't really matter. It never really mattered in the first place. So then let's, obviously, these are the 4 pieces I'm going to choose the best over. Obviously, you can probably go with a vest or knee pads and then use the Dodge City Gunslinger holster. But what I'm going to do is, this is actually going to be Odessa Sawyer's knee pads, the new exotic coming out. And what that exotic does is when you slam the cover, it sends out an EMP charge disrupting any enemies nearby. So that's going to be very good, I think. I think it's going to be a top tier exotic armor. We don't have a lot in the game, and I really think we need some more. So this right here is kind of irrelevant, but I have armor attribute on here. I'd say go for tons of armor, because this isn't going to, most of your DPS is going to come from bleeding enemies and getting the special ammo that they drop. So you're not going to really worry about getting too much weapon damage out, but armor is going to be crucial. If you're planning on making this build before TU6 drops and kind of optimizing it, just know you're going to have a very high skill power, because all the mod slots currently on ongoing directive are basically all utility slots. And apparently in the PTS, that's getting changed to almost all offensive and defensive mod slots, which I actually prefer, because I do not like using skill builds. I prefer having high defense and then a medium offense to kind of make sure I stay alive. So my chest piece, though, this will mostly be staying the same. It has high armor and a high weapon damage increase with a low 9% weapon damage. Obviously I'm using the Overlord armament just because it gives me that 7.5% total armor. So it's going to go away though. So I'll probably grab, probably this one. Less armor, but it gives me a whole lot more damage with the AR. So it should really come in handy. I do have Unstoppable Force on it. With the defensive mod slots come in with the ongoing directive, I should be able to get the Unstoppable Force going. So that should really kind of build towards it. Now, If they don't change the utility slots and they stay as utility, well then you better be prepared to slap in a bunch of mods on either Seeker Mine or, hear me out on this, Shield. I say Shield because you can run the Crusader Shield and still be able to use your Sadist, but you can then switch to possibly your close personal other weapon and get it nice and close while they're sitting there bleeding from the enhanced bleed effect that is given from the new ongoing directive. Now I kind of did some research and it's kind of hard to find, but I found some of the changes they're making to ongoing directive. So I know they're taking away the burn damage. I'm pretty sure that's going away. I see that there's still bleed damage here. I don't know if that's going to be upped, if it's going to stay the same. On the test servers, it's still at 25%, but I can see that getting buffed. And then the next one is emergency requisition, except it is now changed. Originally, it is, as you can see, combat resources within 40 meters of you are automatically collected. And this occurs every 30 seconds. Now it's just changed to combat resources within 40 meters of you are collected when your weapon is reloaded. So that's not bad. Right tool has been changed. Originally it was killing an enemy grants some special ammo, incendiary explosive shock to one of your weapons. It is now changed to killing an enemy affected by a status effect drops explosive special ammo. So it's only going to be explosive ammo. So, what you could potentially do on this build is spec if you're not going to run an exotic armor piece, you could spec your 2 high-end gears for a high explosive damage, which I am showing right here. So, if you get 2 destructive mods on, let's see if I have a destructive one here. I do not. Oh well, if you get 2 destructive ones on whatever other high-end piece of gear you have, well then you're going to be doing 40% more damage on the explosive rounds you have. I mean, you're going to be able to put a little bit more damage out there. And who knows, maybe they buff explosive damage on weapons. So that is also a viable option with this change to ongoing directive. Now, with all these changes coming out, I think ongoing directive is going to be a top tier gear set for people to use, especially since you don't need to go into the raid to get it. And it's not any kind of like pursuit. So it is all open world drops. It's pretty easy to grind out. I only had 1 piece in my stash because, let's be honest, ongoing directive right now is horrible. And I had 1 piece in my stash, and I've managed to get 4 pieces within an hour of just grinding challenging. So it's not that hard to get right now. I'd say 100% go out, grind it out. True Patriot, I don't know if it's going to change, so we'll find out. We don't know how that's going to change, but ongoing directive is definitely going to change. It's going to be so much better. It's going to be top tier. Obviously, I don't think it'll be anywhere near the raid gear sets, but if you're someone like me who only has a few friends playing and not enough for a full raid, this is definitely a top tier gear set to get. It is definitely something I think will appeal to Predator mains like myself. I abused Predator in Division 1, sorry. And I will always be happy to be able to use something very similar to Predator. So, I should probably go over what specialists I use as well. I will obviously be using, that is loud, Survivalist, though Demolitionist realistically could be potentially good due to its increase in explosive damage. So you could be doing a whole lot more explosive. Actually, you know, I would actually recommend this for ongoing directive just because of the explosive damage increase when you pick up the explosive ammo. But I main Survivalist. I don't want to not use Survivalist. So I'm going to be using Survivalist in this almost exact build. So this is what I will be using in any video you see or stream, more than likely. But just know I actually recommend Demolitionist if you're going to be using ongoing directive. So, keep in mind also we are going to be getting we should be getting a new specialist. So there's the potential that it could be better equipped for ongoing directive. So this is just another one of those videos of the loadout. There's no gameplay here. I'm just showing you potential loadouts. I'll even show you guys the stats right now. Here it all is. nothing really stand out because the build isn't really finished. Obviously my armor is a little high. I'd prefer it a little higher. I like 300k armor because I just like the tank. We're gonna see nothing here. I would like to get this weapon damage, all weapon damage bonus increase up, and the AR damage up. So hopefully if Ongoing Directive does add offensive mods, I'm going to have a very high offensive roll as well. And this build will be a lot more optimized. I'm going to make another video for Ongoing Directive when Title Update 6 does come out, so that I can show you what the build will look like when I have all finished. I will not have it all finished though until I have those knee pads. Once I get the knee pads, the video will be out, and then you guys will have a more updated version of Ongoing Directive out. So, with all that being said, everyone, I'm very thankful that you guys are enjoying these Division 2 videos. I'm going to keep pumping them out with, we're in a little dry spell right now. Nothing really to do. I'm just grinding stuff out. Hopefully getting some more Sadist rolls. An MK16 and a higher DPS roll so I can put this Sadist on there. So, I'll keep you guys updated. There's going to be some Shadowkeep videos coming out very soon. I'm very close to a couple guns that could be worth a video. So I will keep you guys updated. I will start posting more on social media. I've been slacking a lot lately. I've had a woman come into my life, and work's been keeping me busy. So I've got a lot going on, but I will be making time for you guys. So, all that being said, thank you guys for coming out here. I do notice your support. And take care, agents.